Howdy there, flat picker. Today we are going to talk about a really cool hack that I learned some years back for how we can use one single string to play an entirely awesome bluegrass guitar solo. Let's go ahead and check this out. The kind of rule that I start with is to grab at least 2 chord tones from whatever chord I'm working on. So let's stick to the key of G. We're going to use a G, C, and a D because those are pretty much the only chords we use in a bluegrass song. And we're going to start with maybe a G and a B note for our first 2 notes. So all of you out there that know about triads know that we have a G, B, and a D in our triad. If you don't know about triads, go ahead and check out my triads mini course, a free course just for you below in the description. We're gonna grab that G and our B, and let's do that on our high E string. I know that's kind of a stretch, but stick with me. You don't really need to grab both of them at the same time, so it's all good. So we've got our G note and our B. And then we're going to use our open string as kind of like what I like to think of as like a bounce-off note. So think about this. So it's going to be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And that's going to be our little pattern. So check it out. For one measure of G, we got 1, 2, ready, go. So there's your one measure G lick that we're going to start with. Now, there's a really special relationship that exists between licks that can be played over the 1 chord and licks that can be played over the 4 chord, at least in the context of bluegrass and most American music. That relationship is that when you switch to the 4 chord, all you have to do is take the 3rd of your 1 chord, that B note, and move it down a half step. That gives us a B flat note. Now, how does that relate to our C chord? Well, that is a flat 7. That gives us a little bit of a bluesy character over that C chord. Let's check what that sounds like. So C, get that in your ears. So that's that same set of notes, just with a B flat on top. Sounds really nice. Let's see what that sounds like moving from a G into a C chord using those 2 phrases that we have now. Oh yeah! There you have it, my friend. Already, it sounds like good music, and all we did was play a couple of notes plus an open string. Pretty awesome, right? So now, to make this fit our 5 chord, there's something really interesting that we can do. That pattern that we're playing over the C chord, if we just move that back 1 fret, we've now got the 3rd and the 5th of our 5 chord, that F sharp note and that A note, 3 and 5 as they relate to D. So that means for our 1 chord, we're doing that. For our 4 chord, we're doing that. And for our 5 chord, and then back to our 1 chord. Let's go ahead and check this out on a 1-4-1-5-1 type of chord progression. Think Your Love Is Like a Flower or something like that in bluegrass. Let's check it out. So you can see 1 string, a couple of notes, and a few little crafty little patterns, and we've got an awesome solo. You've already heard fiddle players and mandolin players exploit the heck out of this. If you've ever wondered why they can play so fast, it's because they do a lot of this cool stuff just on 1 string, okay? So we can take that same rule, that same trick, and apply it to guitar. We just have to stretch our fingers a little more than our mandolin and fiddle friends. Let's go ahead and check out what this might sound like with a little bit of rhythmic improvisation in there. I'm going to bump the tempo up to something like 115 beats per minute, like where a vocal bluegrass tune might be played in a jam or with your band. And then I'm going to mess around with the phrasing. Sometimes I'll start with the B note on the G chord instead of the G. Sometimes I'll start with the B flat on the C, etc. Just mix it up and match it. Check it out. So you can see, you can have so much fun with that, just kind of messing around with it, and especially if you've got a stock lick that you can jam on the end of that solo at the end to kind of get you out of there, either that like descending pentatonic thing that I just played there. That's a common one that I play a lot of times, or you can even just do Our Friend. Do a big old G run at the end. So there you have it, my friend. One string, a couple of notes, and you can make a really banging bluegrass solo. And if you want to learn a few more licks and tricks, or if you didn't quite understand what I was talking about with triads, go ahead and check out the links below in description to my Guitar Club. Guitar Club is my online education resource. I have 5 live calls that I offer every month. So not only do you get over 300 video lessons, you get opportunities to jam and chat with me live. You can ask me the questions instead of just watching this YouTube video and being like, gee, Hayes, how do you do that? Join Guitar Club. You can ask me. So go ahead, check out that link below in the description, and have some fun with this lick. We'll catch you down the line.